Good evening. It is 6:30 on April 12th, 2022. This is the regular meeting of the Northern Lebanon School District Board of Directors. I call this meeting to order. Director Kimball Tazinski, would you please lead us in a flag salute and a moment of silence? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mrs. Martin, may I please have a roll call?
Yes. Bucks. Here. England.
Here.
Fowler.
Here.
Linsky. Here. Murray. Here. Klein.
Here.
Marlowe.
Here.
Erdman. Nom.
Here.
Director Erdman absent. All the members are present.
Great, thank you. I would just like to announce publicly that immediately following this meeting, we will be meeting in an executive session to confer with our solicitor regarding issues of legal importance. I will move to item 2 of the agenda, which is the adoption of the agenda. I would like to note that this afternoon, a discrepancy was discovered with item number 8.7 subsection A, and that is the approval of the final policy 903. What we discovered is that previously the board, in approving policy 006, accurately indicated that according to state law, we can no longer ask public participants to state their address when they give public comment. We missed that on 903, which mimics that same language. That's my fault. I should have caught that. I'm on the policy committee, but I appreciate that it was raised today. Unless there are any questions regarding that, we are going to make that modification, striking that phrase on policy 903, and we will just approve the agenda with that simple modification to policy 903. Are there any questions or issues with that? If there are, we can certainly move it to the discussion agenda, but if there are not, we will move forward with adopting the agenda with that modification. Okay, hearing no questions, is there a motion to approve the agenda as modified?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as modified.
Okay, we'll have the motion from Director England, second from Director Murray. Thank you. All in favor of approval of the agenda as modified, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The agenda is adopted. We'll move on to item 3 of our agenda, which is presentations. I would like to first state that the high school students of the month for April are Bryce Bomberger and Christian Moyer. This award is presented jointly by the Fredericksburg and Jonestown Lions Clubs, and each recipient will be recognized at a future meeting of the Lions Club. Congratulations to both of those students for excellent work. The middle school student of the month for April is Reagan Raybuck. This award is sponsored by the Northern Lebanon County Rotary Club, and this recipient will be recognized at a future meeting of the Rotary Club. So congratulations to Reagan as well. We'll move on to the student board representation. Alex Selby. Alex, are you present? Great. Thank you.
Hello, is this on?
Button should be up.
Okay.
There you go.
So we're just working on stuff for senior week right now, and we've also started to plan stuff for next year, including the powder puff. We set a date for that a while, and we've also moved the talent show to next January because we just don't have the time with the rest of the school year right now and like testing and stuff. And in general, we're just discussing stuff for next school year and what we're going to do.
Okay, great.
Alex, is there a skip day planned yet or a prank, a senior prank? Not yet.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Good answer. Thank you. Thank you for your report. Thank you, Alex. Moving on to item 4, Superintendent's report, Dr. Messinger.
Yeah, I'm going to start. We have some guests with us tonight. Grateful that they could join us. There's some students that we wanted to recognize for a variety of things, actually. I'll start with Rachel Swank. Rachel, would you wave, say hi to everybody? Rachel is a National Merit Scholarship Program finalist. And if you're not too familiar with that, 50,000 students are chosen, make the cut originally, and the finalists, they cut down to 15,000 students. And then what do you have to do, Rachel? Then once you're a finalist, what happens?
They just review my application. Another corporation or from a
That's awesome. And where are you going to school?
I am going to the Schreier Honors College.
Excellent, excellent. And Rachel, we have a certificate that they sent to us to give to you tonight. I'm going to walk around. Questions for Rachel? Okay. We also have some music folks that are here with us tonight. I'm going to go in the order that they're on my paper. Is Kate with us tonight? I think that's the one that did not make it tonight, right? Okay. But Nathan is. Nathan, would you wave to everybody? Nathan, you were District 7 band, correct? And you play the clarinet. How long have you been playing? Okay, very good. And what was that like? What did you do when you made it that far? What was that event like? Okay, and then they performed, correct? Okay, very good. Also, Caitlin Tipton. Where's Caitlin? Now, Caitlin, I coached Caitlin a long time ago when she played soccer, but she also is very, very good at the flute. She was a District 7 band and orchestra, and then Region 5 state band, correct, Caitlin? And Caitlin, tell us a little bit about, that's away for a weekend, right? Or a few days, not a weekend maybe, but you guys get away, you practice, you perform a concert. Is that the? And I know that there's a lot to do for you guys. When you get your music, you have to rehearse it, and then pretty shortly after it's a tryout, right? And do you have to go somewhere for that? Do you do that virtually? How does that work? Okay, very good. We also have with us today Jacob Manning. Where's Jacob? Jacob is in 11th grade. Jacob plays the bassoon. He was in District 7 band and orchestra and Region 5 state band and Central Region Orchestra and all-state concert band. Whew. Wow, congratulations. What's your favorite? What was your favorite event? Okay. And did you have different numbers that you had to prepare for both the band and the orchestra? Or? Wow, congratulations. Any questions for any of our music folks? That's impressive. And for the record, I do play a mean trombone. We also had some athletic folks that we wanted to talk about tonight. Aaron couldn't be with us. He's at wrestling practice. And as you know, he won the state championship. And for the second consecutive year, we have Eliza Shirk back. Eliza, how are you back there? And Eliza was our league champion in bowling again. And Eliza, I know where you're going, but maybe the board doesn't or the rest of the public doesn't. Where are you going to school? And you're bowling there, right? Okay, very good. Congratulations, Eliza, on that accomplishment. Tremendous that I know we got to see her bowl in districts, and but to win the league again was fantastic. So congratulations. Now, I'd like to recommend Director Nam that we add all of these names to the minutes tonight to make sure we recognize them, if that's okay with the school board.
Any objection from the board? Okay, hearing none, we will add those to the minutes.
Now, you may stay and you may learn about the budget a little bit and you may learn about some other things going on. But I know with all the things that you do, you may not want to stay. So if you would, if you want to listen to me for a while, you're welcome to do that. But now's your time. Right? So if you would like to go, you're welcome to do that. Liza, why are you the first one up?
Eliza, 4 years of watching you bowl, it's such a joy to see you moving on from this point. So, and I just want to say on behalf of the board, congratulations to all you students. What an amazing accomplishment for each one of you. You reflect very well on this district and we appreciate all of you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Couple of other things. Kirk, I'm going to put you on the spot. And I know I said this, but then I never checked with you. The Lady Viking, do we have it? Is it available to be put up on the screen? And I'm not supposed to go ahead, Director Nam, correct me.
You can come back in and look at it if you'd like to. Yes, I go back and forth with Dr. Messinger on this, that historically it is not technically a Lady Viking, it is just a Viking. Because women went Viking as much as men did, but.
However, we're probably going to use it for our Lady Vikings at times. So we have added that to our branding images, and that is ready to go. I promised that I would, on a monthly basis, add updates for both climate and discipline committees. The discipline committee is now at the point where we're going to be working through our handbook. We have looked at examples of others. We spent an entire committee meeting last time looking at different cell phone policies. I'll tell you the truth, and I've had conversations with some of you about social media and some of the usages of cell phones. I did find out today that Warwick has had some success using not reporting through their online tool, which is what they tell you to do, but to call them and have conversations. So we're gonna do that. I know that there's some social media accounts out there that I'm not too fond of. In a lot of cases, some of the things are old, some of the things are staged, some of the things are real. And I don't know that if that's your source of information, that perception is reality. But we all know that if that's what's out there, and we're not fighting that, we're not putting out our own positive messages, that's what people will see and then have questions about. So we talked a lot about cell phones in general, and it was kind of tied to the social media things, but working through that, we expect to have some revisions to our student handbook. Also had been in contact with Derry Township. Derry Township has just made some adjustments to work on their policies of bathroom usage, hall usage, and I think have made some nice adjustments. I've asked for a copy of the changes that they've made. They've shared those with me. And so we're going to work through that as well. I know that Dr. Ebert has a desire to tighten up some things as we go into next year. But it's going to be a team effort, and I appreciate the teachers that are on that committee because they have really good feedback for us. From a climate committee standpoint, I think we're at the point where we're establishing our goals and then our look fors. What does it look like if we want students, if we want to disengage students? What does that look like? What are the things that we're going to do? So that we've talked a lot about different things in terms of morning meetings for students. We've talked about supports in terms of social emotional things. So there's a lot of good ideas that again, the teachers have brought up in that committee. So we're now in the process of establishing goals and some look fors within those goals. So that's where we are with those two committees. And then finally, we did have a workshop on the budget. and gave you kind of a picture of where we were. We've worked through some things. We're making progress. I think we took our original, here's where we were, and we've been able to go through some budgets and cut that in half, and we're still working through it. But Leanne was just gonna, you had a question or two that came out of the workshop. She was gonna address that and then tell you where the next few steps that are coming.
Hello. I just wanted to go over some things that we had discussed in there, and like Gary said, bring you up to speed of where we're at. As you all know, our adjusted index from the state this year is 4.3%. Doing absolutely nothing was 0%. Well, it's not doing absolutely nothing, but a 0% tax increase with the alerters that are coming in, the assessed value increasing, it's $280,000 additional. The 4.3% increase results in another 850. So a 4.3% overall, those two added together would get us slightly over $1 million, about 1.1 million increase from last year's budget in real estate tax revenue. And some of you had asked what that was for an average homeowner. The 4.3% increase for the average homeowner, which is $186,000 in our district assessed value, is about $117 increase for their annual tax, real estate tax. And now Gary and I have, we've been working on the budget. It's a challenging year as we have the impact of the increased bond payments next year, but we aren't yet realizing the savings of the new building, and we're still operating at 4 buildings. So we will continue to work on the budget this week, and we will find ways to reduce the expenses. We've cut about half of where we initially said we wanted to cut from, and we will have a plan to get you out a budget synopsis late next week with details on it. And you can email us with questions once you receive that, or you can just wait. I will be presenting the proposed budget at the committee meeting in May, and then you will be voting, the board will be voting on the proposed final budget at the May 10th meeting.
And that goes for 30 days, and then they actually approve it then in
Right,
June.
yeah. So for those of you who are new, sorry, I can expand on that. We do have to make it available for the public to review 20 days prior to voting on it. So then we put it out online. We do still have a paper copy in the office because we also have to do that. So we will have that available, and then you vote on it in June. It's adopted, it's final, and I submit it to PDE then.
Yeah, right. Making any tweaks. The synopsis will have all the details like she just talked about in terms of median household median household values and what the different percentages would be, where we are in terms of things, highlighting the increases. We talked about the charter school costs. We've talked about healthcare and things like that. The salaries that go up every year. So all that, if you remember the synopsis, if you look from the last 2 years, I think there was favorable opinions of that. So we'll have all that down and all that out and shooting. Well, we'll have it out by the end of next week, if not a little bit, maybe get a day or two before, but I am taking Easter break off.
Joy. But yes, and I think Brooke had said it, we can make changes between May to June. We can make minor tweaks and changes in it. So it's adopting it, but you can do changes. Just want to let you all know that.
Okay, thank you. And that is the end of my report for tonight.
Great, thank you. Good report. Any questions for Dr. Messinger or for Leanne? Okay, hearing none. We'll move to item 5, old business. Is there any old business? Okay, we will move to the public comment portion of our meeting. Interested persons were asked to complete a written request to address the board by 3 p.m. today. I understand that there is one public comment, Mrs. Cheryl Burt. You will have 4 minutes. When you start, just please state your name for the minutes. Thank you.
My name is Cheryl Burt, and I am here because I really love and care about this district. And I had a child who graduated here in 2018. He had a tremendous experience both in middle school and in high school. And I just want us to be the best we can be. And I see that tonight with some of the people that were honored. I did print out what I'm going to say because As you have probably seen, I'm used to being like a cheerleader, encourager, and saying, look at the great things these kids did, or look at the great things these students do. And some of what I have to say is reflection tonight, and I hope you'll hear me with open ears. So I'm going to kind of jump through the first paragraph that you can read and start with the part where it's unnatural for me to think of the possibility of sending my youngest son elsewhere. And it's come to my attention through various channels that I need to bring this before you all. I've talked to Gary via email and on the phone, and Dr. Ebert, and they're both open to discussions, and I appreciate that. It takes a village, so you're part of our village. You're the leaders of our village, so I'm coming to you to talk basically about the middle school. Middle school has been notorious for generations for having challenges and growing pains. I think that's why there are so many movies and books written about those years of life and kind of actually making them into a comedy. But those are truly important years of growing, and therein lies why I'm here tonight. I do tutor a few students, both of middle school and elementary age, that are going through a little bit of growing pains with the new Eureka program. Gary and I have discussed that too, and I do appreciate your recent post to secure some help for those students because it's new to them, and that's just the nature of being dumped into something new. Most of the students that I have and the community connections have spoken to me periodically about how they might not always feel safe, especially those coming from the middle school. Of course, as an educator, I listen with open ears, more listening than dialoguing, but some of them have shown me bruises. Some of them have voiced that they feel bullied. Then other parents not connected to the community, I have heard them discussing, and they've tried to include me in the conversation, where are you sending your child next year? This is when I felt like I needed to come to you, because opting for cyber school, homeschool is certainly a parent's choice. They know their own child best, but it really would upset me to see kids leave when there are so many opportunities right here at these doorsteps for the kids. And I know it costs our district dearly when they do that. So again, I'm here tonight basically to let you know, Gary already referenced the social media posts, and I know some of those are staged, some of those are real, but nonetheless, I would think even the stage ones might be a cry for help. So I'm here just to ask you, if you know any kids personally, please help them. I know that we're moving in the right direction, and some of the new building work will help bring different dynamics. The new handbook changes will help, but we have more than 40 days, or about 40 days.
30 seconds.
And okay. Well, maybe I'm actually thinking I can teach a little longer this year. I do sub for the district. So, and I don't count the days usually. I was notorious for that during my tenure in school. I love being with the kids. I enjoy helping them. But if there are kids going through the social emotional pain that seems to be echoed in some way, shape, or form, I'm just kind of pleading with you to just look into that even closer, especially for the weeks and days ahead. I know spring has spring fever, and that comes with all kinds of different issues sometimes,
4
some
minutes.
good, some bad. And the bottom line is, thanks for your time tonight. I did write the rest out there for you to see.
Thank you, Cheryl. I do want to also point out, because you kind of hinted at it, and I wanted to talk about it too, that Kelly's done some work for us on, we have a little bit of COVID money for, it's called learning loss, but social emotional support also is in that. We do have a person budgeted for right now through that money. 90 days, every other day or something like that. I mean, it comes out to 90 days. And a contract with them, which is something we haven't had. So, and I think we could keep them busy. I'm pretty sure. So, and so we can start with that. I don't know if that's adjustable as time goes on, but we wanted to get something in there for that as well. So that's also, that'll be something on Leanne's highlights from a budget standpoint, but in reality, it also, it's some of that COVID money that we have coming to us that's specific to that.
Mrs. Bird, thank you for your comments, and thank you for printing them out as well so that we can review them And I would just personally invite you to email me with any other suggestions or concerns that you have. Thank you so much for your time. We will move to item 7, which is our items for board action. We have, as previously discussed, consent agenda, and then we also do have some items for discussion tonight. When it comes to the vote tonight, as I mentioned at the committee meeting last week, our votes will consist of a voice vote of yes or no, A or nay on any of these items, plus any indications of abstentions. All votes tonight will be recorded as a unanimous roll call vote unless there are any negative votes or abstentions, which we'll mark in the minutes as well. So we will move to the consent agenda.
And just ask that you would approve the consent agenda as presented.
Any questions regarding the consent agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as indicated, with the one exception that I previously noted, which is the change to policy 903? And we will be voting to approve that change as well.
Motion to approve the consent agenda except for the 903. I was really trying.
Yeah. Sometimes my voice speaks louder or more quickly than my brain does, and I apologize for that. There is a motion from Director Kimball Tazinski to approve the consent agenda with the modification. Is there a second? Second, all in favor, please indicate by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Any abstentions?
I vote yes for all of the consent agenda other than 8.8B due to a family member being considered for employment.
Great. Thank you, Director England. Motion carries with the noted abstention. We will move now to the discussion agenda. Dr. Messinger.
Yeah, 9.1 is our change orders I mentioned. The one is a sidewalk for the HVAC unit, to have something to put that on. The other is an additional bulkheads, the two smaller ones. The one that is the larger one is actually one that you've already approved, but this is the final dollar amount. There were two of them at one point, and it was bulk remediation of the soil, which means stone in a large area, and also some trench remediation, which is stone in either the footers or in a very small area. As it turned out, that those two combined wound up being about 44,000. If you remember, it was a not to exceed amount. So it turned out that we put it into one, but it was about $44,000 less than the not to exceed amount. So that was good. I mean, the bad news is we did need some stone and remediation, but the good news is that it was 44,000 less than the maximum. So that is now done. There are footers out there. They're laying things so that they can pour the slab probably in the next 2 weeks.
Any questions for Dr. Messinger regarding 9.1? Is there a motion to approve item 9.1?
Motion to approve 9.1.
Is there a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. 9.2, employment.
We have Whitney Kleinfeller as a library assistant at Fredericksburg Elementary to fill a vacancy there.
Any questions? We'll just keep going through. Yeah. Is there a motion to approve item 9.2?
Motion to approve item 9.2.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. And the question is, we're going to vote on each one of these individually because some of them were added since the committee meeting. So we'll just go through them one at a time. Item 9.3, resignation.
Retirement of Mr. Kless, custodian, effective June 30th.
Any questions? Is there a motion to approve item 9.3?
I move to approve 9.3.
Is there a second? Director Klein, second. All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9.4, professional substitute.
Yes, one professional substitute, Megan Woodruff.
Any questions? Motion to approve 9.4. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And 9.5.
Job description for that financial specialist position we've talked about. That is going to replace the assistant business manager position.
Any questions? Is there a motion? Any discussion on that? I would just like to note that I think this is a very positive development, and I think the results for the district are going to be very good. Is there a second on the motion? All in favor? Any opposed? Item 9.5 carries. Moving on to 9.6.
Leave request for Gene Bolts, FMLA.
Is there a motion to approve 9.6? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And finally, item 9.7.
Yeah, this is actually given, this power is given to me in board policy. However, I thought because we were planning ahead, I thought it would be nice to get it on in front of the public. It's authorization to go ahead with that financial specialist hiring. We'd like to get them to give their notice. As you know, it can take up to 60 days in a lot of cases. And I know that Leanne was very calm and collected here, but with not having an assistant business manager, it is twice the work right now. So if we can get the ball rolling before the May meeting, that would help.
Great, thank you. Is there a motion to approve item 9.7?
Motion to approve item 9.7.
Second? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you all. We'll move to item 10, which is the informational meeting. I understand that there is one item, Dr. Messinger.
Yes, Mr. White will be providing some homebound instruction for a 5th grade student.
Okay, we will move to the reports of representatives. Change order committee, I understand we just voted on the change order, but Dr. Bucks, is there anything to report?
Not really. The past few meetings, we've covered them here. Anything that we're perhaps missing would be on the district website.
Great, thank you. CTC, Director Klein, anything to report?
I got something really quick. You know how a couple months ago I talked about the project what they're doing with NASA? Well, anyways, that gained some interest of other projects, and the Lebanon Career and Technology Center is going to be working with Penn State College of Engineering on another kind of similar project, just working with the engineering folks and having a project at the Career and Technology Center.
Great, thank you.
I don't know if they told you yet, but they're making a part now for Mercedes too.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure it's Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah, this after the NASA project got advertised, or there was a lot of other different organizations that want to find this kind of partnership. So it's working out really well.
Great, thank you. Excellent report. IU 13, Director Murray.
No report.
Great, thank you. Legislative Liaison, Director Kimball Tazinski. No report. PSBA Liaison, Dr. Bucks.
Not much this month. Just a couple of reminders of some upcoming opportunities. Advocacy Day is in Harrisburg, Monday, April 25th, where we have an opportunity to see the updates from PSBA and meet with our representatives. And then some legal roundups or updates. PSBA is offering theirs virtually May 3rd. That's a Tuesday. And then Stock and Leader has graciously invited us to their school law update on Wednesday, May 4th.
Great, thank you. Good reminders, good report. Appreciate it. Is there any new business to bring to the board? Hearing none, I would just note item 14, the dates to remember going forward, and especially note the April 15th through 18th, there is no school. We made that adjustment in the course of this month. I think that's a good adjustment, both for the health and stability of our staff and our students as well. So very good. That leads us to the adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting? Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.